Hi there, I'm Energy Green Grandpa. It's gonna really be a good dinner tonight. Gosh, it really cooks fast here. You know, I maybe kind of need to be careful. Oh, that's pretty hot. And I'm gonna kind of push this back, and then I'm gonna kind of lean on here and see what it's like. Here, nothing's hot whatsoever, but this is hot. Well, why is that so? This is an induction stove, and it produces a magnet. Magnetism goes through the various elements on this stove. And the magnet, this is steel or iron, and the magnetism transfers from the stove into the pot, and then the magnetism, when it gets to the pot, then it stimulates the atoms in the pot, the steel, and they rub against each other, and it gets hot. So I heat everything, all the heat goes right in here. There's none of the heat comes out in the room whatsoever. So this is your best bet. If you're going to buy a new stove with an oven, well, your best bet is then the induction, because it does save you a lot of energy. It does not heat up your room whatsoever, other than a little bit of steam coming off of the pot. And also, you don't have any gases coming out here at all to pollute the air in your kitchen. Pretty expensive right now, but if you're ready to change, then make that change. Now, other choices that we have. My great-grandmother Robinson, who lived in the country, we would go out and visit them at the farm, and do you know what she cooked on? Well, she didn't cook on an induction stove. She cooked on a wood stove. It was kind of a potbelly type of a stove, and she'd have all the burners on the stove, and then she'd put some kindling into it, and then light it up, and then start putting small logs in there, let it heat up. Then she would put her pans on different covers, and then all of the smoke then would go out through a chimney here and go to the outside. Now you can imagine how much work that is, and it wasn't very efficient as far as energy is concerned, because the energy, it heated up the kitchen, really quickly. It's good in the wintertime, you could do that. Then my mother used a stove, and it was a gas stove, and it had the burners on it. But you can see that the burners on this one here are two different sizes of burners, actually three different sizes, but her gas stove had four different sizes. And she would take a small pan and put it right here on the big one, right? Is that a smart thing to do? No, it's not a smart thing to do, because she had, out of her gas stove, she had the rest of the flame over here, and it was just losing heat. So if she had a small pan, then she would put it over here on the small burner. She had the gas stove, and she would be smart about that and try not to waste a lot of money. Problem with the gas stove is there are fumes that come out into the room. Another thing that the gas we used was methane, and methane had to be pumped into our home. It come from a long line of things, and those lines had a possibility, a good possibility, that they would leak. And you get this methane into the atmosphere, and methane is a very high grabber of heat, grabs a lot of heat from the atmosphere. And so you don't want it in the atmosphere, and you don't want it to have any of the gases from in here. So it's not the best idea to use that type of a stove. And then thirdly, you have the electric stove. And electricity, if you have solar panels and so on, it's not going to be doing anything as far as producing carbon in the atmosphere. But if you have it, you're connected to an electric company that's getting its energy from fossil fuels such as coal or natural gas or oil, then you're going to be having effect on your carbon footprint on this. But again, the same rules that you use, if you're still using them, that's all right. But to use the same rules, you always put the large skillets onto the large burner, and the smaller pots and so onto the other burners. Now, another thing though, to help you save money, if you're just going to warm something up, you don't want to turn on the heat here to warm it up. And maybe take you 15 or 20 minutes, not even that long to warm something up. Guess what the best way to do? Well, let's take a look. Yep, you guessed it, the microwave. And within a matter of seconds, you can put something in there, and within a matter of seconds, you would save one whale of a lot of energy by doing that. Even though you had an electric stove, even if with the induction stove, you'll save energy. So your best bet then for short heating times, use the microwave.